Let's be real for a second. What if your AI assistant wasn't just a tool, but a true partner? Today, we're going to dig into a new blueprint for AI that promises exactly that. A system that actually has a memory, a consistent personality, and the ability to genuinely collaborate with you. Let's see how it works. Oh man, we've all been there, right? You're in the zone, deep into a complex task, you ask your AI for help, and it's like it has the memory of a goldfish. It completely forgot what you said 2 minutes ago. It is without a doubt one of the most universal frustrations with this tech. And look, the reason for all this frustration is pretty simple. Most AIs today, they just don't have a persistent memory, they don't have a stable personality, and they certainly don't adapt to our unique ways of thinking. Yeah, they're powerful calculators for sure, but they fall way short of being real collaborators. And that is the exact problem a new framework called NEUROTYPE sets out to fix. So that brings us to the proposed solution, an architectural philosophy they're calling NEUROTYPE. The entire goal here is to transform AI from that clunky, forgetful tool into a consistent, reliable partner. So what is NEUROTYPE really? Well, at its core, you can think of it as a set of rules for building AI. The goal isn't just about making a smarter model, but a more coherent one. An AI that can actually maintain a continuous conversation, learn your style, and work with you for the long haul. Now, this is where it gets super interesting. You gotta look at how NEUROTYPE is actually structured. Think of it like a digital brain with 6 distinct layers. It all starts from the ground up, with a boot layer to make sure it starts perfectly every single time, and a core layer that defines its basic personality. Then, it loads specific domain knowledge for whatever task you're working on. On top of that, you've got the reasoning and personality layers, which handle the logic and how it interacts with you. And then, watching over the whole thing is a critical safety layer. It's this modular design that's meant to give it stability and make it reliable. Okay, so how does this cool-sounding architecture actually translate into real features? Well, it makes 5 key innovations possible. And these are the things that really set NEUROTYPE apart from the AI we're all used to today. All right, first up, contextual memory. This is the big one, folks. This is designed to be the end of AI amnesia for good. Imagine an AI that keeps a perfect private diary of all your conversations. It can remember details from last week or even last month, creating genuine continuity. That means you never have to repeat yourself again. How good does that sound? The second innovation is a drift adaptive personality engine. You know how some AIs can feel, well, just all over the place? This is designed to fix that. It lets the AI adapt to your mood, maybe being more direct when you're busy or more creative when you're brainstorming. But it never loses its core personality. It stays consistent like a reliable friend, which is how you build trust. Next up is emotional tone integration. And let's be super clear here. This isn't about the AI having feelings. Nope. It's about it being smart enough to recognize yours. It can analyze the emotional context in your words and then adjust its responses to be more empathetic and appropriate, whether you're feeling frustrated, excited, or just trying to get things done. The fourth innovation is huge because it puts you in the driver's seat. With user-defined knowledge augmentation, you can plug in your own trusted sources, your company's internal wiki, your personal research notes, specific textbooks, you name it. This makes sure its answers are based on information you've already vetted and you actually trust. And finally, number 5, interruptible flow control. Honestly, this is a total game changer, especially if your brain doesn't always think in a perfectly straight line. You can jump from one topic to another and then back again, and the AI keeps track of every single thread. The AI follows your train of thought, not the other way around. Huge difference. So when you put all 5 of these things together, the change is it's night and day. This brilliantly illustrates the shift. We're moving away from these forgetful, rigid, one-size-fits-all tools and toward an AI with indefinite memory that adapts to your style, follows your thinking, and acts as a consistent, reliable partner. But here's the thing. This isn't just about cool tech for the sake of cool tech. Nope. All of these innovations are building toward a much bigger mission. NEUROTYPE is designed from the ground up to be human-centered, with a special focus on being aligned with neurodivergent users. They actually did a user validation study, and the feedback was just wow. Take a look at this quote from a neurodivergent user. They said that the ability to switch topics without losing context wasn't just some minor feature. It was the most valued part of the whole system, because it respects how their minds actually work. And get a load of this number. 91%. That is not a typo. A staggering 91% of neurodivergent users in that study reported that the system provided significant support for executive functions. Things like planning, organization, and task management. This is AI making a real, measurable difference in people's lives. Now, you can't have a partnership without trust, right? That's why Neurotype is built on 5 core principles of user sovereignty. And it's pretty simple, really. It means it's your data, the AI has to ask for your permission, it has to show you its work, you control its settings, and you can review everything it does. This ethical framework isn't an add-on, it's baked right into the core of the system. So where does all this lead? What does this mean for the future? Well, the goal here isn't about replacing human thinking, not at all. It's about creating a partnership that genuinely amplifies what we're all capable of. Ultimately, when you boil it all down, this framework represents a fundamental shift in our relationship with AI. We're moving away from the idea of a simple command line tool and towards a collaborative partner that can remember, adapt, and maybe even grow alongside us. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. If you had an AI that was truly designed from the very beginning to be your partner, one that understood your context, adapted to your style, and supported your unique way of thinking, what new heights could you reach? What problems could you solve?